There's something about the way you make me feel inside. I'm counting down the days till we fly away, heading to the sun, only you and me. Don't wanna waste another day being stuck here in this place. No, I wanna hold your hand in mine, watch the sunset in your eyes. Baby, I want us to act like we are 22 right now. Just let go, lose control, play songs on the radio too loud. This could be magical. Wow, wow. This could be magical. Wow, wow. To escape, and here we are, driving narrow streets in a rusty car, leading to the sea. Think we're getting close. We should take a pic, baby, strike a pose. I remember every day that I spent right here with you. Yeah, you are the one who makes me feel as good as I do. Baby, I want us to act like we are 22 right now. Just let go, lose control, play songs on the radio too loud. This could be magical. Wow, wow. This could be magical. Wow, wow.
fair warning, you may have noticed already, I'm having some internet issues, so we'll see how long this goes. I was hoping that I would be able to show off our foster puppy. We got our first foster puppy this week. Today is day 3, and Karen says now it wants to buffer a lot. Okay. Well, keep letting me know if it's going well enough, or if we should just maybe call it an early day on Friday. But for now, I'll keep trying. And hopefully you'll get to see the cutie for at least a minute. So you may or may not have seen pictures already of our foster. Her name is Dakota. She's a 4-month-old purebred Doberman, and she's been fun. She's been a lot of work, as puppies tend to be, but I thought we would do something just kind of informal. I can bring her up to the office here, and I thought we could do a little bit of work with her. And if you guys want to comment on how cute she is, give us any suggestions or questions, feel free to do that. Otherwise, enjoy the cuteness. But before I go get her, I did want to just remind everybody that today is the last day of our new schedule, or sorry, of course, last day of our old schedule. Starting next week, we'll be going from 3 days a week down to 1 day a week, and the new shows are going to be on Thursdays at 11 a.m. Pacific. So hopefully there's not too many of you going like, oh, bummer, I can't make that, and a lot more of you going like, oh, phew, finally, this time's so much easier. I hope. It's going to be easier for me because I've been wanting to put out more recorded video content that people have been asking for, so this will open up the time for me to work on that, and we'll still get to live stream once a week. Again, Thursday mornings at 11 a.m. Pacific, starting next week. So, who wants to see a puppy? Who wants to see a cute puppy? I am gonna play you some more music while I go get her. I'm just gonna make sure that she potties real quick, so it might take me a couple minutes, but I will be right back. Barring any internet issues, if there are, I'm so sorry. I will try to catch up. That'll be 2 p.m. for you, Karen. Is 2 p.m.? Well, hopefully 2 p.m. is doable because I love having you here. And hello, Heath. So hello, and goodbye for a moment. I'm gonna go get Dakota, and then we will be right back. So hang tight. We'll come show you the cutie. Okay, it didn't take me as long as I thought it would. So we've got Dakota here in the background. I'm just gonna switch cameras so that you guys can get a better view of her. And I thought that I would do some training with her for you, so you can see what we're. A couple of the first things that I would work on with a new puppy. She is exploring. This is her first time in this room, so I might give her a moment just to kind of check everything out. So that she's better able to focus on me, but it'll be fun to watch, I think. So here is, yay, okay. All right, and we're getting into cardboard already, huh? All right, can we see? We can see, okay, excellent. So yeah, I'm just letting her check everything out. And one of the first things that I have been teaching her already is just the cue, and you guys maybe have heard me talk about this already, but the cue find it, because this gives us a way to kind of redirect her attention away from anything that I don't really want her to get into, but in a positive and really fun way. So I wanted to catch her while she was looking away so you can see that she's starting to understand what that cue means. But now she's demonstrating so beautifully that we've been also working on, oh my gosh, she's a star. We've also been working on getting her to come to this blue towel, or a mat. You could use a mat too. This is just mat training, but we used a towel. And also we've been working on her sit, and as she demonstrated a moment ago, her down. I didn't even have to ask her. She's quick. She's a very smart pup. So yeah, this is Dakota. Yeah, I'll just show you what we've been doing. So a lot of down and a lot of time on the mat, obviously. But in order to release her from the mat, let her know that either we're gonna reset and do another repetition, or we're totally done, I use the find it cue. So this is where I would go find it and just toss the treat away. And I don't toss it too far for her because she's, one, a very young puppy, and two, she's new to training of any kind. So she doesn't really understand like everything about how things are going to work. So I want to make sure that she realizes that there is something in my hand and it's leaving my hand and that she can go get it. Like all of those little pieces are things that dogs don't automatically, or they may not automatically pick up on. And I love that little, when they go into a relaxed down, I want to make sure I capture that too. Yeah, so this is us just hanging out, doing a little mat work. I'll say, find it. And that's how she knows she can get up, leave the mat, and go get something fun. I can also use that. So say she was getting into something I didn't want her to get into over there, I'd say, find it, and toss it somewhere else. Something I'm just a little bit cognizant of in here is that when I toss, these are just kibble that I'm using, her kibble. And when I toss these on the carpet, the carpet's gray, these are brown, but for a dog, they're pretty much the same color, and it's not gonna make a sound, and so she'll have a much harder time finding it. That's another thing to keep in mind when you're working with a puppy who doesn't get the game yet, is that you kind of gotta help them out in the beginning. And so for that, I would try and get the kibble to land maybe on the yoga mat, where it's more visible and she can maybe hear it land and see it bounce a little bit. So find it. So it rolls under the little the platform there, and she knows we're working, and that she can get rewarded for coming back to the towel. So this has been really handy because I can now just move this towel anywhere around the house. Like I said, this is her very first time, like literally when I went to get her and bring her up here, this is her very first time in this room. But because we've done so much work on this mat downstairs over the last, 2-3 days, I guess, 2.5 days really. Yeah, this kind of transfers, and now I have a tool I can carry with me, and we can work in different areas and help her generalize some of the other training that we'll be doing together. So there you go. She's got a really gentle mouth, which is nice. At least when she's not running around playing and all excited. But when she's focused and she's working, I mean, there's no teeth. She doesn't touch teeth to skin at all, which is so beautiful. So like I said, we've been doing the mat work. We've been working on sit and down for her. And with this isn't strictly necessary, of course, but if you really enjoy training and you're working with your dog, when I work on sit, it's helpful to remember for me that for a dog, asking her to sit from this position is like a completely separate concept than sitting from when she's standing. So I'm going to help her out a little bit more if I want her to understand both. So if I ask her to sit now, I'm going to actually use my food lure in my hand and bring it up kind of slow so that she hopefully follows it. But she's like, you like that down. I know you like it when I'm in a down position. You know what? I'm gonna leave it as is for now. We don't need that oh, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Distinction. At least it's not important to me for her right now. But what actually is important is that she learns to really like hanging out on the mat, especially hanging out on the mat in a down. Find it. Do you see? Find it. She heard it and she didn't know exactly where to look, and that tells me she's still catching on. But she picked her head up. She was alert, which tells me she knows it means something. She knows to look for something. And that's just kind of how it goes with puppies. You know, you got to be patient with them because they're learning everything about the world. You know, we sometimes can bring them home and we're like, okay, I need you to learn this and this and this. And we try and teach them maybe the same way that we would try and teach an adult dog. And sometimes their brains just aren't ready for all of that. So patience is paramount when you're working with any dog, really, but especially with little puppies. And I'm just watching her to make sure she doesn't trip any of these wires. Dakota! Oh, that's the other thing. I've been working to get her to respond to her name. Who knows if her name will remain the same, but if it does, she'll respond to it. So that's nice. David kind of illustrated for me the other day that she really doesn't recognize it yet because we were all hanging out outside and playing, and he wanted to get her attention, and he called her name a few times in a row, and she, frankly, even if she did already have some understanding of, good girl, of recognizing that sound as her name, she was in the middle of playing with another dog, which is a highly distracting activity for any dog. So calling them away from play, I generally discourage, because what I want is that when I call a dog's name, especially if it were my own dog, is that they're in the habit of responding immediately. I want them to, you know, whiplash head turn and look to me when they hear their name, no matter what the circumstances are. And if I get into the habit of calling them at times when it's unlikely that he would respond, like if Dizzy were, you know, if you're in the middle of playing with Dakota, the chances are higher that Dizzy would respond than Dakota would, because again, he's had a lot more practice with that pattern, and it does get better with practice. But you also have to strategically layer in those distractions. And so if you've got a young puppy, it's really just completely unreasonable, off the table, that they should they should respond immediately. If you're calling them with one, maybe their name hasn't been taught yet, but two, if they're doing something, you know, highly pleasurable. Good girl. So that's something I would wait until later, and if I'm teaching a puppy to respond to their name, I'm only going to use it when I am pretty darn sure I will get them to respond, and I'm always going to follow that up with a treat. So if we hadn't done any practice at all, that might look like, I mean, she is looking at me, and that's totally fine. Like I said, if you're starting from the very, very beginning, it would just go like this, Dakota, and I would give her a treat. That is literally it. I say the name, and then give her a treat. In that order, and not at the same time. Dakota first, followed by the treat. And if you're noticing her body language here, she had kind of turned her head each time, and then when I called her name, she did turn to look at me, but that is even a product of the practice that we've done already, right? The first couple of times I called her name ever, when I first met her, there was no sign of recognition whatsoever, and that's fine. You still give a treat. That's actually how you get the head turn in the first place. So, Dakota, and I see so much too. It's not just that her head actually orients toward me, but her eyes kind of light up, and her ears, I mean, it's a slight movement, but it really is starting to recognize that sound means something good for her, right? Hi, sweetheart. She's not too much of a licker either, which is a nice change from Dizzy. He's a very licky guy, and she doesn't tend to, I mean, this is all just sniffing and nose. She hasn't been very licky, which is different for me. She's like, bring out more treats. So I thought that, I just want to make sure, okay, not seeing any new comments. I'm hoping I'm not missing anything, but just for you guys, if you want to see this, I thought that I would start a totally new task here on stream once I get her nose out of my bait bag. And this is another thing that I like to work on with pretty much every dog, because it comes in handy in so many different contexts. So I've already got some nice focus, so that tells me this is probably a pretty good time to work on something, and we'll just do a couple minutes tops, and then that would be our training session. So she's like, fine, if you're not ready, I'm gonna go get your cookies on my own. But what I'm gonna do with her is the nose to hand target. And so I am gonna wait till she comes back till I got some focus, or I can use my find it to let her know I'm back in the game. Find it. Get her back on the mat. And now I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna place my hand out and see, actually I'm gonna get her on her feet again, because sometimes this is better if they're standing. Find it. Oh, that one went far. She's all right. So I'm just gonna, yes. Oh, so that's the other thing. Yes, that little yes marker cue. Yes. Okay, first time I'm trying this. Yes, very nice. And she's picking it up very fast. That's an enthusiastic, yes, an enthusiastic push of her nose into my hand, which is exactly what I want. Yes. It is possible that someone at the shelter or her previous original family did work on this before, but it's the first time I'm doing this with her, so I don't know. Yes. She also knows food comes from hands, but that's often why, yes, for some dogs, this is a pretty easy cue to teach, is because they know hands mean good things. They're more than willing to come toward them. That's not to say that's true of all puppies, but our girl here, she's okay with hands. Yes. So since I know she's, yes, enthusiastic about it, I'm starting to switch up my hands, yes, and ask her to come a few steps toward it, yes, versus, oop, I dropped that one, sorry, versus the first time when it was, yes, pretty much right in front of her nose. Yes, very good. Let's see if I can get her to come off the mat. But mat is good. Ah, we've done too much mat work. That's funny. Yes! Oh, I got a paw too. Yes. Yes. I'm gonna start to play around with the, yes, the height that I'm holding my hand at. I like to start with like a little bit below their nose, but then maybe, yes, go lower, go higher. Yes, she saw me reach my hand into my bait bag, which is a no-no. Yes. Very good. Okay, so she gets the game. She's picking up on things quick, and she picks up on things quicker the more we do, and it's so amazing to see this already in 3 days. She's gonna make some family very happy. She's a smart girl. Aren't you? Aren't you, baby? Oh, I know. She's like, yes, do more, do more. Asking her to come towards the wall might feel a little bit pressuring for her, so that might have been too much. Yes. The corner of the room there, I'm not sure. Oops. Find it. Yeah, and she's moving kind of slow, especially for a puppy. You know, some puppies are just all over the place and they're so fast. But it's another reason she's she's not easy, but easier to train is because she moves a little bit slower. So I actually have to slow down what I'm used to. You know, Dizzy's he's a high-speed dog. Yes, and so. I'm used to like having to respond really, really quickly, but for Dakota right now, yes, she takes her time a little bit, and even when I say find it, I kind of wait to toss it until I know I've got her eyes focused, because it's not always there right away, and I know you're ready. Let's see, what else could we teach you, You're very ready. Oh, there's that tongue. You're funny. There you go. Yeah, and sometimes, yeah, she's just a little bit, yes. Like I can move, I feel like I'm moving at a snail's pace, like, yes, so that she can see the trajectory of my hand and everything. Yes. with Dizzy, who's the dog I've been training for the last several months, you know, and that's it. I'm used to having to like show over here, where Dakota's like a little bit like, whoa, like that's a lot. So what do you think? I know. Those are in my hands. And that's just how it is right now. But I like this. Is a beautiful sit. Yes, it is. Yeah, so anything else you guys want to see? I'm gonna switch cameras again, and let her sniff around for a little bit. I'm like, maybe I should get out of the way. You guys can see her. Wait, where'd you go? You want to come up here? We gotta get your close-up. Yeah, so anything else you guys want to see for Dakota other than her cute face? I'm gonna try and bring her up here if she'll let me pick her up. She's got a little bit more sniffing to do first though, so like I said, new room. It's really, really fun introducing her to everything in life, right? Like for a puppy, everything is new. And it's part of the reason that I wanted to foster puppies was so that I can help contribute to their early socialization that I'm always harping on about. Because puppies need that. And if a puppy doesn't have a forever home hey, Dakota, during this crucial age, shelter life can be really stressful. Come here, girlfriend. Oh yes, she's climbing into our laps all the time. She loves being up, and so there she is. Yeah. So. Anyway, so shelter life can be really stressful, and although shelters try their darndest to get puppies meet all of their needs, the needs of any individual puppy, I mean, it's a lot. The job of socializing a puppy is a lot of work, and that I say that to give credit to everyone who's ever raised a puppy because it's work. Oh, can you see this? She just like. I mean, she's a love. She just wants to cuddle all the time. It's cuddle and play and eat and cuddle, play, eat. That's pretty much what she wants to do all day. This is too cute. But yeah, so anyway, so fostering is I think for me it's fun. It is work and it's exhausting. Frankly, I mean she's taking up all of my attention pretty much 24/7. I have not gotten a lot of sleep since she came here. Okay, you went down. There you go. I have not gotten a lot of sleep since she came here, and that's to be expected. Hey, Dakota, find it. I wonder if I can put... Ooh, here we go. What about this? Can we climb up here? There you go. I'll try what I do with Dizzy, and that way you guys can still see her. Well, I dropped it. I know I dropped it. That was... yeah, anyway, it's really important for puppies, and so it's good. I mean, puppies tend to get adopted faster, really fast out of shelters, which is a good thing for them. But if there are puppies who are not able to be adopted, and she's not available yet, which is why she's in foster, there you go. Then it's important that whoever is caring for them is meeting this socialization need, because it is important, and she's right at 4 months, so she's at the age where things are starting to be a little bit more scary and startling. When she sees, like, if we don't have lights on in the hallway and one of us comes down the hall, that silhouette is much more frightening, and she's definitely on guard, and she's doing this spooky bark until she realizes who it is, and then she's like, oh, okay, whew. She's like relieved and happy, and but we are seeing, that she's definitely showing some what's the word? Cautiousness. She's showing a bit of alarm with anything that she's not familiar with, and it is to be expected right about this age. So I want to make sure that I'm doing right by her and helping her to feel comfortable with tons of new stuff. So luckily I have a ton of puppy, hello Heath, I have a ton of puppy, she's gonna be my new Dizzy here. I have a ton of fun games and props and things to help with puppy socialization. So she is in the right spot. She's getting a good start, and I hope that whoever she ends up with appreciates how amazing she is, because she is really great. So one last time, I'll hold her up for you guys, but I'm gonna shut it down early because I don't know how my internet how long this is gonna last. Before I say that, just real quick, guys, want to say, for if you missed it at the beginning, just a reminder that next week my schedule is changing. My live streams are now going to be once a week, just Thursday mornings, 11 a.m. Pacific, and yeah, so that's going to be the new schedule. I hope that I am able to see you there. And with that, let me just hold up the cutie, because I know you're here to see her. She's just laying at my feet. She's like really doing a good job of filling Daisy's shoes today. Not to say, tons of people have said, "Oh, I see a foster fail," just like you, Heath. Not gonna happen. We know for sure that our second dog, when it's time, is gonna be a small dog, and she's gonna be a very large dog, I think. So the people want to see you, baby. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. There. Oh, here, you can put your paws up there. Wait, maybe not. What do you think? There you go. The ears are too much. Her ears are so soft and so floppy for her head. But she's great. Okay? You want to say bye to the people? You want to be a star? Here you go. Dakota. There you go. So this is Dakota. I probably shouldn't push it for another reason. It's not just my internet issues. The other reason is I don't want to risk her having a potty accident. She's not potty trained yet, although she is making progress. And it would just be wrong of me to set her up to fail by keeping her up here longer than I know it's safe, especially on the carpet. So that's it. I'm glad you guys got to see her because people have been asking. She's my first foster, and I'm so excited. It's been a fun one. Like I said, puppies are lots of work, but that is to be expected. Karen, how long will we have her? It's going to be short. It's going to be short term. The only reason I have her is because they wanted her out of the shelter while they're waiting for some genetic test results. And so that might take a few more days. And so we may only have her for a few more days. I think, yeah, it depends on what happens after that. And so I'm not sure. But probably no more than a week. Which is sad, but we can get a lot done in a week. I mean, if you've been here watching the whole time, you can see how fast she picks things up. And it's so cool watching her progress. So yeah, a week could be a lot in terms of what she can learn. And so I'm hoping to get her really nice and set up to like impress whoever adopts her. So yeah. Karen said that would break my heart. Oh, having her only a week would? Having her having her for that long and then having to say goodbye? Is that what would break your heart? I am not potty trained yet either. Yeah, well, I've seen those scenarios before, Heath. You should maybe ask for some guidance there. It's kind of crucial life skill. Right, Dakota? She's like, I don't know. Doesn't seem crucial to me. The carpet seems a nice enough place to pee. She has no clue. So yeah, anything else I'm missing? Yeah, letting her go. I mean, I think after a week, we're either going to be like ready for a break from puppyhood, or we're going to be crying our eyes out because she is so great. One or the other, we'll see. But right now, I'm having fun. I just hope I get some more sleep tonight. It's funny. I was talking with some other trainers this week about some breeders collaborate with trainers and send their pups directly to training for the first month or so. Once they're weaned, and before they go to their adoptive families. And my first thought was like, oh my God, I would love for that to be my job, to just constantly just have a puppy that I'm training, and to have them for that age. Cause I love this age. Like, yes, the potty training is is stressful and it's a lot. And the alone time training and the crate training and the sleeping through the night, all of those things kind of leave you having to be on 24 hours a day. And so it's a lot, but at the same time, like, you get this. Like, this is amazing. And they're so, like, yeah, I don't know. They're either they come to you so eager to learn and they're just so ready to absorb information, and it's like, it's the coolest time to be training, I think. Or they come to you and they're a little bit timid or fearful, and for the years that I did work at a puppy preschool and teaching puppy classes and puppy socials, those were my favorite dogs, were the ones that came in really like like they didn't want to interact, they were too scared to do anything, and they were kind of my favorite because, you know, you get to see like the improvement is just that much more. You get to see them really blossom, and that was one of my favorite parts of the job. She is the new Dizzy. She's like, pay attention to me over here. Nobody tell Dizzy though. I love him. I remember been reminding him like every few hours, like, you're still my man. I still love you most. He's my boy. So yeah, and I'm just so you know, I'm feeding her constantly, because if I keep feeding her, she's less likely to wander off and find a place to potty. There is a potty pad up here that I brought up just in case of emergency, but I don't want her to have to use it. So, yeah. So I'm gonna just inhaling treats too fast. Okay, so I'm gonna go so that I can take her out to potty, and we can keep working, but I just kind of wanted to show her off because I'm like, I mean, like, you know, I just said I'm only gonna have her for a week, but at the same time I'm like really proud of how awesome she is and I want to show her off. So yeah, glad you got to meet Dakota. Remember, next week, 11 a.m. Thursday is when I will be live with you, and I'll have a recorded video coming out on the Wednesday before. So that's next Wednesday and Thursday. Other than that, those are the updates for today. So you're a good girl. So yeah, that's all. Happy Friday, Karen. I will see you next week. All right, I better go. Have a good one, you guys, and we'll see you next time. All right, bye-bye.